Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. Wow. We have week 9, everyone. Week 9. This is Calvin Dean. And this Thursday Night Football. It's all about Thursday Night Football. I mean, we go over in the Calvin Dean Show. We go over a lot of things. We go over what's going on in the NFL. We go over injury reports, fantasy football, and then we go about calling games. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? It's another week in the NFL. Another week, and I love it. I really do love it. It's just amazing. Week 9, guys. Wow. I can't believe it. We're halfway through the season, and we do have some interesting things going on. I mean, one thing, the Raiders, how about Henry Ruggs getting caught DUI and he killed someone and he was drunk or high. I don't know what that is. Maybe he was drunk. And it's just sad. And then they released him, and Derek Carr came out and talked about it, and he was feeling bad for Henry, but he was also blaming himself. I mean, that kid I'm telling you, Derek Carr is all that. He is really a professional. He sat there and he's taken this team on his shoulders, and he was really remorseful. He just was so sad that someone died, mind you, but also he could have helped his friend in need if he was maybe a little closer to Henry. So that's what has happened. The Raiders released Henry Ruggs, and I don't know what's going on with that. That's a terrible thing. That could be prison. If he doesn't get prison, there's something wrong with that. Because I had a friend of mine back east, and he was a dentist, and he got, I think it was like a year sentence for something like that, and he didn't even kill the kid. He hurt the kid, but he didn't kill him, and he still got jail time. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. Another thing, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has COVID, and there is some news to that, mind you. In August, during a news conference in August, one of the reporters asked Aaron if he was vaccinated, and he said yes, he was immunized. It's out of his own mouth. Yeah, immunized, yeah. But, and now we find out he's not. He's not immunized, so he lied to the American people. He lied to his fans. He lied to NFL fans. And for the people like Cole Beasley, who's sticking up for his rights, and Kirk Cousins sticking up his rights, I don't get that. Something I don't get. Mind you, I don't get that. I really don't. Stick up for your rights. I think it's more of a right to live than a right to, invade your medical privacy. That's just insane. Especially COVID. Over close to 700 million people died in the United States. Oh my God, that's just terrible. Anyway, so he's not vaccinated. So that comes out. It comes out that he lied once again. And I don't know. I used to be a fan of his, and he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to backtrack and say his sorries and everything else for me to be a fan again. I'm a fan of players. I don't have a team. That's the reason why I can pick games, because if you have favorite teams and a favorite team, then then picking games is out of the question. You got to leave your heart and soul out of these, picking games, and you have to rely on, intelligence, fact-finding, knowledge, history knowledge, weather knowledge. If it's going to windy, rainy, snowy, sunny, how that field affects players when it's, certain fields affects players differently. Like the San Francisco 49ers, Nikki's Niners, my friend Nikki up in San Francisco. And, when it's windy up there, I mean, you can't do anything. Candlestick, I mean, that's just, think about it. I mean, Candlestick Park is, I know, the San Francisco Giants. I'm not stupid. But, it just that Bay Area in the when it's, windy and rainy, it gets nasty up there and chilly too, guys. It's Northern California up near San Francisco. It gets chilly. You go a little west of San Francisco, and you have Yosemite, and you go up there. So that's a gorgeous place. If you ever want to go to a vacation and really go to a vacation and enjoy something like nature, Yosemite National Park in California, I mean, it's just breathtaking. I've been there 12 times. And I just love it. I love it there. I mean, I've been by myself with my dog once, and I just loved it. I mean, seriously loved it. What a great place. My last time I'd been there was with my brother, William. William, love you, brother. He's a Jet fan. But the thing of it is that you shouldn't laugh. Look what they did last week with White throwing over 400 yards. Oh, my God. And they won. Wow. I mean, that's what makes this game tonight, Thursday Night Football. Yes, it makes this game a must-see. Yeah, you better clap on that one and hip, hip, hooray. I'm telling you something. Tonight's game is going to be an amazing game. You think about it. I mean, these Jets, they're just newfound energy Jets, and you have to wonder what's going to happen tonight. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about it, won't we? We always talk about everything. One thing I have to talk about is that guess who is 8 for 8? Yeah. I am 8 weeks in a row. 8 weeks in a row, I have called the lock game of the week. Last week it was Buffalo. And, I'm telling you something. You have to listen to this game. If I have a lock game, get ready, guys. Go to the bank, withdraw all the money, because seriously, I'm of course I'm just joking, but I mean it's a lock. When I say it's a lock, it's a lock. It's the game's going to be a lock. Period. And tonight's game is the Indianapolis Colts against the New York Jets in Indianapolis. And, the New York Jets allowed 29.4 points per game, 390 total yards per game. And they're on the bottom 5 of the NFL, this defense. As defense sometimes comes through, they're young, very young. But I see potential for the Jets. I do. I mean, White really did well. I mean, think about it. White. Wilson must be going, oh, why? Why did I have to get hurt? Why? I mean, why? I just... that's just the way sports are. I can remember me getting hurt when I was playing baseball. And I tried to come back. That was, wow. I gutted. I was gutsy. Man, it was just some crazy stuff when you're young. When you're really young, like in your early 20s, and you don't give a shit about your body, and you just play and was shooting up shit and, playing through the pain just to play the game. I understand that. Now, how about Odell Beckham? Odell Beckham. Did everyone hear about Odell Beckham? Well, I guess he's like a cancer now inside the locker room. Excuse the terminology of cancer. I guess he is, causing a ruckus. Why don't we just call it that and be politically correct? He's creating this ruckus, and Stefanski, he wants him out. He's not coming. Doesn't want him in the locker room. And, this is just, it's typical Odell Beckham. Okay. And I know everyone, who's knows him and loves him and is his friends. And, you just have to talk to this guy. I don't know what's going on in Cleveland when it comes to him. I mean, he must not be that bad of a receiver. I've seen him drop a couple balls this year. I don't see him in sync. Maybe he's lost a step of speed because of all the injuries. I mean, he hasn't really looked superb, but they haven't given him the chance to live superb. So, so he's not coming to the game. He's not flying. He's not going to be there. He's not what's on the flight. This is an important game for them too. So, and one other tidbit. Think about this one. The Los Angeles Rams are 7-1. Okay, 7-1. Right now, mind you, the Los Angeles Rams record and their defense is ranked 24th. Doesn't seem right, does it? Their offense is third. And their passing is second. So Matthew Stafford, how about that? Huh? And their rushing is 17th. So, I mean, that team just got another beautiful piece to their defense. Von Miller, all-world linebacker from the Denver Broncos, traded to the Los Angeles Rams this week on the trade deadline, and Mr. Von Miller is now a Los Angeles Ram. Wow. I mean, are these guys stocking up for a Super Bowl run? And think about that. It's in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, mind you. Wow. That would be awesome. Well, it would be awesome. It's just like last year when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, and they played in their home stadium winning a Super Bowl. And it could happen this year. It could happen for the Los Angeles Rams. All Ram fans, I hope the best for your team and hope the best for every team in the NFL. No news on the Buffalo Bills. They won last week. That was my lock game of the week. And let's just go into it. Let's go into Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean. Let's do it. Yeah. Let's go to the first game. We got the New York Jets going into Indianapolis to play the Indianapolis Colts, 3-5. The New York Jets, 2-5. So, we have a 30th ranked offense of the New York Jets, the 12th offense of the Colts. Defense-wise, the Jets looks a little bit better. They're 18th, and the Indianapolis Colts are number 20. Number 20. The passing, on the other hand, of the New York Jets just is terrible. They're 30th, and the Colts are 18th. And then the rushing attack of the New York Jets is just nothing. I mean, it's ranked 32nd. They're last in the NFL. And the rushing for the Indianapolis Colts is number 8. Now, this is one of those games where, man, how can you explain this? Teams like the New York Jets, they're very dangerous. And I'll tell you the reason why they're dangerous is because they're young and they don't know their own potential. And they just found their own potential last week. And you have to watch that because they'll be like a roller coaster ride. One week they'll look great and they'll win, and then the next week it's like down. Man, that's all youth. Not that many people in the locker room are the so-called veterans that are taking over. So it's all this youthful, and which is great, mind you. Don't get me wrong. Having a young team, but it causes problems, and the problems is they're 2-5. Now, on the other hand, the Indianapolis Colts are 3-5. Wow. And that they should have won last week. I had them winning and they lost. But I think the Indianapolis Colts in this game are going to prevail. So the first game of Week 9 is upon us. And this game, I'm giving this one to the Indianapolis Colts over the New York Jets in Indianapolis, mind you. I think they're going to run all over the Jets, and Wentz is going to light it up. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be too one-sided, but I think the Jets will keep up, but I don't think they'll keep up, and I think the Colts will probably win by anywhere from 10 to 15 points. The next game I'm going to go over is the Sunday game, and it's the Broncos going into Dallas, the Star. Dallas's practice field is just amazing. You have to, if you go on my Twitter page, that at Calvin Dean on Twitter, and you can see I posted a drone video that the Dallas Cowboys made, and a drone that just goes through this whole entire stadium, their training facilities, and just, oh my God, guys, you got to watch that video. Got to watch it. At Calvin Dean on Twitter. Follow me too. That's a definite must. I put out some interesting news every single day. So we have the Cowboys at home facing the Denver Broncos. Denver has won 6 straight games versus Dallas. Can you believe that? Denver has won 6 straight games against Dallas. Huh. I mean, but on paper, it's just the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're strong, guys. 6-1. Their offense is ranked 4th in NFL, and the Broncos 18th. Broncos defense is ranked 13th, and now the Cowboys defense is going down and down and down. They're at 11th. They were higher, guys, in the beginning of the year, but now they're 11th. That's pretty good, and they're getting better. That's dangerous. They got a great team. And then you have the Denver Broncos passing attack is 14. Dallas's is 5, and then the rushing on the Denver Broncos is 18, and the rushing on the Dallas Cowboys is 4. This game is it's. I mean, even though Denver Broncos have won 6 straight games versus the Dallas Cowboys, I'm giving this one at home to Dallas. Dallas will win this one. The next game is in the Saints. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Jameis Winston went down with a torn ACL. So Trevor Siemian did really well, didn't he? And then Mr. Siemian. I mean, he's just. Just think if Odell Beckham went over to the Saints. If they just traded him to the Saints, that would be wild, huh? For the Saints fans, wow. I mean, because they need something like that to, open up the field so they can work better underneath, because they don't have anyone that opens up the field like he would, and that would be a smart move by the New Orleans Saints, wouldn't it? It's just. I don't know what the Saints are going to be doing, but the New Orleans Saints have won 3 straight games against Atlanta, followed allowed only fewer than 20 points per game. So I'm going to give this to the Saints over the Atlanta Falcons in New Orleans. And the offense of the Saints is 31st. That's terrible. And the offense of the Atlanta Falcons are 27th. The defense of the Atlanta Falcons are 8th. The Saints are 4th. Their passing attack of the Saints is 31st. They're almost last. Terrible. And the Atlanta Falcons are 23. The rushing under 20 is 28th in the league for the Atlanta Falcons and 13th for the New Orleans Saints. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, very low-scoring game. It just matters how the teams. I mean, they've got two good defensive teams, and pretty poor offensive teams. Really, if you look at the stats. I mean, Matty Ice, but what about Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons? Calvin Ridley wrote on his Twitter page saying that he's quitting football and for mental health reasons, and he left the game. Calvin Ridley has left the game for. That's wow. Something's up with that, huh? I don't know. I smell something. Other than mental health. But it could be. I don't know. Who am I? Not a doctor. Just telling you my instincts. That's all. The next game, we have the New England Patriots. Wow. New England going into Los Angeles and beating the Los Angeles Chargers. Wow. I mean, wow. That was a statement. They're 4-4. Bill Belichick is they're getting better and better every game. Better and better every game. We've got to watch them. They might be a team where they'll upset someone in the playoffs and make it to another round. Bill Belichick's all that. He's definitely the GOAT when it comes to coaches. Don't you think? I think so. Yeah. So we have the New England Patriots. The offense is ranked 10th. 10th. Wow. And the Carolina Panthers 21st. Now, Sam Darnold, he didn't report to practice, and I guess he's concussion. He's in concussion protocol, I believe. And the defense on the New England Patriots is 21st. The defense of the Carolina Panthers is 3rd. Now, mind you, New England's gonna, run into a buzzsaw. But now, hear me out on this one. New England, mind you, they're smart. I mean, Bill Belichick he's just smart. He just is. Everyone knows that. So, the thing of it is that I think Bill will pick apart this Carolina offense, and I think they'll definitely pick apart their defense. They'll play to their strengths, and they'll go the other way. Bill's like that. He's really good at this stuff. And the passing attack for the New England Patriots is 9th, and the Sam Darnold Carolina Panthers is 25th. That's terrible. But this is where it gets better for the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers' rushing attack is 11th in the NFL. And the rushing attack. The rushing attack for the Carolina Panthers is 11th in the NFL. And for the New England Patriots, it's ranked 21st. That's a big thing. You have to know all these things, and to really be aware of what's going on. Now, McCaffrey, he's scheduled to play. It's a game time decision. That would make the Carolina Panthers at home, mind you, a lot more juicier, don't you think? With their defense, how they fly around, I think Bill's going to be ready for them. I really do. I think Bill Belichick's going to be ready for the Carolina Panthers. I think if McCaffrey plays, watch out. Bill will take him out of the game. He'll just take McCaffrey out of the game and have Sam Darnold beat him in other ways. I'm going to give this to the New England Patriots over the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. The next game on the docket is the Vikings. The Vikings going into Baltimore. Now, mind you, the Minnesota Vikings are 3-4. Baltimore Ravens are 5-2. Baltimore Ravens didn't look all world last night, did they? Against the Cincinnati Bengals, they lost at home. Humiliating game, terrible game for the Baltimore Ravens. Now they're coming off a bye, mind you. Their offense is ranked 8th. Offense for the Minnesota Vikings is 16th. The defense for the Minnesota Vikings is 12th. 15th for the Ravens. Now, Ravens, the reason why they're over, not as ranked like the Minnesota Vikings, is because of who they play, mind you. Minnesota hasn't played teams like that yet. And then you have a 12th ranked passing attack for the Minnesota Vikings and 13th ranked passing attack for the Baltimore Ravens, which actually is getting better, by you. He's really heating up lately, and watch out for Lamar Jackson, people, second half of the season. The rushing is better for the Ravens. Can you believe it? The rushing attack is better for the Ravens over the rushing attack for Minnesota. Minnesota's 14th, and the Ravens are ranked 6th. Think about that. So we have a 8, a 15, 13, and 6. We have 12, 16, 12, and 14. This, on paper, this is a really, really, not an lopsided game, but pretty much it looks like a 7-point win on the Baltimore Ravens side. That's how I look at it. There's not really much to tell about anything other than, there's some history. Baltimore's won 11 straight games versus the NFC opponents. 11 straight games. There you go. There's that's it. That's it, guys. The Ravens, the lock game of the week. The lock game of the week is the Baltimore Ravens over the Minnesota Vikings at Baltimore. That is my lock game of the week. Wow. Thank you. Yes. Lock game. The Baltimore Ravens over the Minnesota Vikings. Mark that down. Important. Knock this down. Now, the next game, wow, we have Cleveland's won 5 games out of 6 games against Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati Bengals are at home. Their last game, I just couldn't believe the way they played. Then they lost. Now, the Browns, they need this game. Without Odell Beckham, that's not really a big oh boy. I mean, and Chubb is just eaten up on the Bengals. Chubb is 4-1. Baker Mayfield is 4-1 against the Bengals. I'm giving this to the Browns. The Browns will beat the Bengals, and that might be the upset. I don't know. I don't know what the morning line is. Let me check it out. And yes, I'm right. I'm right. The Bengals are giving away 3 points in that game. I take the Browns, guys. Take the Browns. They're going to win. I think the Browns are going to win. I think maybe by 3 or 4 points. I don't know. But anyway, I take the Browns. That's definitely a nice upset. We have the Bills over the Jaguars. I don't want to look at that. The Bills are mountains and mountains and mountains over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I give up on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to even say anything about them and tell everyone, oh, they're going to win again. No. Sorry. Not against the Buffalo Bills, who I predicted in the beginning of the season will go to the Super Bowl, and I still think they're going to go. We have the next game is the Texans. What can you say about this game? Texans 1-7 going into Miami at 1-7. The Texans, and Miami, they're both. I'm going to give this to Miami on this one. Going over their offenses is ugly. 29th for the Texans and 26th for the Miami Dolphins. Defense 30th, and the Dolphins are last. And the only thing that really sticks out to me, which is kind of sad, is that the Houston Texans are 28th in passing, and the passing attack on the Miami Dolphins are 20th. It's nothing to be, writing home about. And we have the 29th rushing offense against the 27th of the Miami Dolphins. I think Gaskin's going to be a good play on fantasy football in this one, and Parker's been lighting up lately. I think that's going to be great now. And Tyrod Taylor's back this Sunday. Tyrod Taylor for the Houston Texans. Now they actually have done well with him, but they were doing well with Miller. Mills. They were doing great with Mills. And I don't know why they would go, they've been doing well with him. I guess Tyrod Taylor, they think he'll, have a better way to win the game, but I don't think they'll win this game. I think it's going to be the Miami Dolphins finally doing something right. Like I said, play Parker and Gaskin in your fantasy football, and you'll thank me. You'll thank me. The next game, we have the Raiders going into the Giants, the New York Football Giants. Derek Carr has a 324-yard passing yards per game this season. He's the second most in the NFL. The second most. And it's just not because of Henry Ruggs. It's because of everyone. Henry was part of it, but he's just a gunslinger. He's really good. And I'm looking at the New York Football Giants. Almost every single New York Football Giant, there's a lot of guys on the COVID list for New York. So they're going to have a patchwork for the New York Football Giants. This is a slam dunk. A slam dunk game. The Raiders over the Giants. This could be my second lock of the ninth week of the NFL season. Definitely the Raiders over the Giants. I don't even know. Hopefully, they might forfeit the Giants. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not. Then we have the Los Angeles Chargers licking their wounds going into the Eagles. Now, the Los Angeles Chargers have allowed 159 rushing yards this season. That's most yards they've allowed to rush in the NFL. And I'm telling you, you got to watch the Eagles, because the Eagles' rushing attack is fifth. Now, defensively, throwing the ball against them, the Los Angeles Chargers are ranked ninth in the NFL in defense. And their offense is ranked 20th, and the offense of Philly is ranked 14th. The offensive passing attack of the Los Angeles Chargers has slipped up to number 11th, and the passing attack of the Philly is 22nd. The rushing for the Los Angeles Chargers, come on, man. You can't just rely on that on Hebert to save you and move the game. You have to run the ball a little bit with Eckler. They have Eckler. What's going on? They have Kelly, Eckler. Let's just do it. Stop with just relying on Hebert's arm. And the 22nd for the Eagles. And passing. And then you have rushing. Eagles are fifth. And Los Angeles Chargers are 25th. I mean, that's what I was talking about. I mean, Eckler, we need to really get him going, don't we? I mean, I'm saying we because I'm from Los Angeles. I just this is going to be an interesting game. 4-3 Los Angeles Chargers against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia, mind you. It's a 1:00 game, and I don't see the Chargers, laying down in this game. I think the Chargers are going to win this game, and it'll be the Los Angeles Chargers over the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be an interesting game. Then the next game we have the Packers. Now, mind you, going against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City without Aaron Rodgers. They're going to have Jordan Love. So if you have a lot of football teams like myself, fantasy football teams, I have 56, mind you. My second largest ever. I have had one season I had 60. So I'm almost there. I had Aaron Rodgers in a lot of my leagues. And so I had to, sit him down and now start Jordan Love. And he won't be back until November 13th, mind you. He's out until November 13th, and he has to be asystematic by then. And he's not vaccinated. It's a major thing if you're not vaccinated. I mean, because I don't care if you're, if you're not sick or not. I mean, he most likely is probably sick, and I pray that he's okay, because it's a terrible infection. It's a terrible disease, and it's just the worst. It's killed millions and millions of people all throughout the whole entire world. So I wish him the best. I'm still kind of PO'd that he lied to all of us in August, telling us that he was immunized, he was vaccinated, but he isn't. So there you go. If I was him, I'd be out to all the fans and come out and tell everyone I'm sorry for lying, and just tell them, but the whole thing of it is that then he has to hide his head, because he better get vaxxed, be honest. Come on now, you have to, and save lives. It's a proven fact. It saves lives. Anyway, now Jordan Love they're 7-1 against Kansas City, and their defense on the Green Bay Packers is getting really good. They're 14th. Their offense is 19th, but the Kansas City Chiefs offense is 2nd. But their defense of Kansas City is 29th. That's terrible. And their passing attack, of course, is 3rd for the Kansas City Chiefs. The passing is 17th for the Green Bay Packers. But they're just hitting their stride right now. And the rushing is 16th for the Packers and 10th for the Green Bay Packers. For the Kansas City Chiefs, mind you. And now Green Bay has won 7 straight games, the longest active streak in NFL at this moment in time. So you gotta wonder. I mean, that first game they looked terrible against New Orleans. They just laid down. They did it. They never. They didn't show up. They just didn't show up. So, but the way Mahomes has been playing and the Chiefs have been playing, I know there's no Aaron Rodgers, but Devontae Adams, he's back. They have a great offensive line. Now with Mr. Love, he will, he'll be exciting. He'll be a little exciting. It'll be a different team, and he has Devontae Adams back. I'm giving this one to the Green Bay Packers. I really am. The way the Kansas City Chiefs have been playing, I don't think the Chiefs are going to beat the Packers. I really don't. with Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love will have a great game. And if you're a fantasy football player, Jordan Love, play him, play Devontae Adams, play Gaskin, play Devontae Parker. These guys are going to have a big game. Mark Andrews from the Baltimore Ravens is going to have a big game. And even Marquise Brown from the Ravens, he'll have a big game. So watch out for those games and those players. Now, the next game, it goes into the San Francisco 49ers. Now, mind you, Jimmy G's 1-1 against Arizona. And now Kyler has not been practicing. That's concerning for the Arizona Cardinals. And they got beat up this last game. They got really beaten up. And I just don't... I think Arizona's going to have their second loss in this game. I'm going to give this... this is an upset, guys. This is an upset. I'm picking the Niners over the Arizona Cardinals in this game. And Kyler Murray is suspect for that game. Suspect, guys. So watch out. And then we have the Sunday night game, which is going to be epic. It's going to be in Los Angeles, mind you, at SoFi Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams against the Tennessee Titans without Derrick Henry. McNichols is taking over his job, Mr. Henry's, and we'll see how that goes because, two different running backs. I mean, I'm sure they'll still open up some holes, but no one's like Derrick Henry, So I'm sorry to Titans. I just can't. There's no way. Von Miller's on this Ram team now, and you have Tennessee and the Los Angeles Rams are 2 of 3 teams with 4 wins since week 5. So that's pretty interesting. So they're all both of the teams are on great. They're just on a great high. They've been playing really, really well. So I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Rams at Los Angeles. I just think they're just too good. Excuse me, Tennessee Titans fans. I'm not bought. I was kind of bought when Henry was around, but still I wasn't bought. But the reason being is you just can't live on that. And now, more than ever, teams aren't going to be loading the box. They're going to say, okay, McNichols, you beat me. That's the running back just taking over. And I just don't see that. They're just not going to load the box, and they're just going to stop everything. The teams are going to have, it's going to be a totally different defense. And it actually hurts them because they aren't that type of an offense to come back against a team like the Los Angeles Rams. So we're giving the Rams in that game. Last but not least, we have the Chicago Bears going into the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers 4-3, Chicago Bears 3-5. Bears didn't look too good the last 2 games. The Bears. Pittsburgh 51 wins on Monday night, most ever since 1940. Can you believe that? Wow. The most wins. If you want to look at the stats, we'll go this way. I'll do it. You got the offense of the Chicago Bears, which is terrible with Justin Fields at 32nd, the last offense. But, the Pittsburgh Steelers are right there. They're 28th. And the defense, that's the difference right here is the defense, guys. It's the defense for the Bears are 22nd, and the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is ranked 5th. And watch out, man. Mr. Watts, rushing, and Justin Fields, he's going to be just annihilated, Feel sorry for Justin. Now, take him out, guys. Put Andy Dalton in. Really, seriously, you should. So maybe you can save the team from having a losing record this year. And then you have the the passing attack's terrible. And the passing attack for Pittsburgh's 26th. They're just almost as bad, And then you have the third best rushing offense is Chicago, and the 30th for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, even with Najee Harris, their offense rushing is 30th. They're almost last. Ugh, that's ugly. But then rushing for the Chicago Bears is third. So, you got Booker, you had Montgomery, you have Justin Fields. A lot of that is Justin Fields. And, I mean, he'll make it a game. Justin will make it a game. He will. He'll make it a game. It'll be a close game. And I'm going to give this one to the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. Quickly, let's wrap this show up. We have, let's go over, we have Sunday Night Football. The Titans at the Los Angeles Rams SoFi Stadium. We have the Los Angeles Rams winning that one. Tonight's game, Thursday Night Football in Indianapolis. And we're going to have the Colts beating up on the New York Jets. The Cowboys over the Broncos. The Saints over the Falcons. The Patriots over the Carolina Panthers. The Ravens, the lock game of the week is the Ravens over the Minnesota Vikings in Baltimore. And then the Browns to beat the Bengals. I guess we found out that was an upset as well. And then the Buffalo Bills over the Jags. Didn't talk too much about that because, come on, the Jaguars. They're not that good. They're not that good. They'll get there. 2 years, they might be winning in 2 years. Might. We'll see. Then we have a terrible game to watch. I'm sorry, Texans and Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Miami, I gave that to Miami. And then I have another real lock of locks. The Raiders over the Giants in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Raiders will beat the Giants. And then we have the Chargers over the Eagles in Philadelphia. That's going to be. I don't think that's too much of a surprise. I really wouldn't think that's a surprise call. I really don't. I think the Chargers are better than what they played last week. And then we have the Packers going into Kansas City without Aaron Rodgers because of the COVID incident, right? So I just can't see. The Mahomes, he has been playing not that good. And I think the Packers defense is better than everyone thinks it is. And I think the Packers defense is going to slow him down. And sorry about that, but that's what's going to happen. And Packers will beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Now, I have the 49ers. I guess that's an upset too. The 49ers to beat the Carolina Panthers. 49ers to beat the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be okay. Yeah, it's been a long day. But, I mean, definitely the 49ers. Nikki's Niners. Nikki, cute little Nikki up in the Bay Area. She loves those teams. She just loves it. And they will beat the Arizona Cardinals. That's an upset as well. And I Jimmy G over 500 yards last week. The 49ers offense over 500 yards, guys. Jimmy G looked all that. He's going to come. When he gets hot, you got to watch Jimmy G. When he's hot, wow, he's like Nick Foles. When Nick Foles remember when Nick used to get hot? Oof, wow. And that's what he is. He's getting hot. He's healthy. He's going to win. This is going to be an upset. And Kyler Murray, they're uncertain. They don't know if he's going to play. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears going into Steel Town, iJustine's town. And iJustine, look her up on YouTube and Instagram. She's amazing. If you want to have any type of techie stuff, she's Miss Apple. I mean, her and her sister, just amazing. Anyway, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see everyone next week. The Kelvin Dean Show, sponsored by the NFL Network. See you next week, everyone.